Hey, everybody coming in. Hey, good evening. Good evening. I know that it's late, but I definitely wanted to make sure that I came in to share some value with you guys tonight. So we're actually going to jump right into it. I hope that everyone is doing absolutely amazingly well. Hey, Edward. Hey, Dr. Lornika. Today we're going to be talking about 7 steps to writing a book that makes you 6 figures. I am super excited to share this content tonight. I don't know how long I'm going to keep this up. So make sure you are taking great notes. It'll probably be up for a couple of days and I might archive it this weekend. Okay. So today we're going to talk about 7 steps to writing a book that makes you 6 figures. And I'm just going to go ahead and dive into the content. And if you have any questions along the way, put your questions in the question mark little spot down there, and then I will answer them at the end of this live stream if we still have time. Okay, so 7 steps to writing a book that makes you 6 figures. Okay, you guys ready? If you're ready, put ready in the comments. If you are ready, put ready in the comments. Awesome, Dr. Lornika. So you got it on Kindle. I'd love to get an honest review of because you have the Kindle version. I haven't shipped out the paperbacks yet. I'd love to get your feedback on the Kindle version. All right, guys. If you guys are ready, say ready. Hey, Shaquana. Oh, thanks so much for tuning in. My husband popped on for a minute here too. All right. 7 steps to writing a book that makes you 6 figures. Okay. Step number 1 is to get clear on your purpose. That's to get clear on your purpose. So this means that when we talk about writing a book that's going to bring you 6 figures, there are several purposes. First is the purpose that you want to accomplish with the book. What is it that you want to accomplish with the book? Okay. What do you want to be able to do with the book? Do you want to be able to get more speaking engagements? Do you want the book to funnel you coaching clients? If you are a coach and you have an agency, do you want to use the book as a tool to network and be a conversation starter? Do you want the book to bring you more agency clients? Like, what is the purpose of the book for you? Okay, you have to identify that before you write a single word. One of the biggest mistakes that many independent authors make is that they start writing with themselves in mind. So they just start talking about their experiences and sharing their story and giving a lot of extra details that at the end of the day don't matter, and it's not going to help to accomplish your overall end goal and purpose. Okay. Also, you need to know, what is the purpose for the reader? What is the outcome for the reader? So by the time the reader gets to the end of the book, what is it that I want them to be able to know? What is it that I want them to be able to accomplish? So here, when we're talking about getting clear on your purpose, what is the purpose for you? How is this book going to help grow your brand? How is it going to help grow your business? How is your book going to move you closer to the goals that you want to accomplish? And what is the purpose for the reader? What is the reader supposed to accomplish when they actually read your book? Okay, that's step number 1. Get clear on your purpose. Step number 2 is to clarify your audience. So guys, your book is not for everybody. Your book is not going to be for men and women from ages 18 to 45. That audience is just way too broad. Your book is not going to be for single women. It's not going to be for married women. It's not going to be for single, married, engaged, and dating women. And women who are dating. It's just not going to happen. And I'm not making this up off the top of my head. I am sharing responses that people have actually given me when I ask them, who is your book for? And they'll say, well, it's for everybody, or it's for, guys who are in athletics from high school all the way up through 45. Like that's just way too broad. It's for women in relationships, single women, married women, divorced women, women who are dating, women who are engaged. Like it's just too broad. You have to choose one of those audiences, right? One. Okay. So you have to clarify your audience and you have to niche down. This means that your audience may seem very small to you, but trust me, the smaller your audience is, the better your end results are going to be. Okay? So clarify your audience and niche down on the problem. Okay? Now, this takes me to step number 3. Are you guys still with me? I'm going through this pretty fast. I'm not going to be on here for an hour, okay? I'm only going to be on here for about 15 to 20 minutes because that's really all it takes, all right? Step number 3. Your book needs to solve a problem in 7 to 10 steps. Your book needs to solve a problem in 7 to 10 steps. You don't need 21 chapters in your book. It's not required to solve a problem. Remember, a book is a tool. It's a tool to generate leads. It's a tool to build your brand. It's a tool to help you establish authority. It's a tool to help grow your business. It's a tool to introduce people to what it is you do. People may not be ready to buy a high-end program. People may not be ready to book you to speak. All right? And when you're at networking events and you're giving out business cards, a lot of people throw those away. However, a book is always a conversation starter. All right? Your book needs to solve one problem in 7 to 10 steps. One problem, not 20, not sharing your whole entire life story, not talking about everything that happened to you in the entirety of the 20 years of your career or business. No. One problem in 7 to 10 steps. This means that you have to make it bite-sized. You have to make it very easy for people to understand what you're saying and talking about. One of the issues, let me backtrack. I hear a lot of indie authors comparing themselves to traditionally published authors and books in the bookstores. But here's the thing. Have you ever read a book and you started flipping past half of the pages because it was fluff? Right? I know that I have. Have you guys ever done that? Like if you're a reader like me, I'm pretty sure that you've done it too, right? You were reading a book and it just seemed like the same information was being presented over and over, but said in a different way. It was totally fluff and it wasn't helping you. So you just started skipping some of the pages or even some of the chapters to really try to get to the meat of what is being talked about or what is being discussed. Have you guys ever experienced that? Okay. What we don't want to do is write books full of fluff. A lot of books that you see on the bookshelves do have hundreds of pages, but it's hundreds of pages full of fluff. It's hundreds of pages full of fluff that could have easily been communicated in a smaller book. But for vanity purposes or so that they could, reach a certain word count or look better, they wrote all of this content, which at the end of the day is not helping you because you're reading you're flipping through most of it. If you're writing a book, hey Kimoy, what's going on? If you're writing a book and your readers are skipping through most of it, then it's not making any type of impact. It's not making any type of impact. You got the book sale, but you're not going to get the additional sale because your reader has tapped out. They tapped out. They're not interested in what it is you have to say. You've lost them. So I don't want you to feel like your book has to be extremely long. It has to be 60,000 words or it has to have all these vanity metrics in order to be valuable. No, your book can solve a problem in 7 to 10 chapters and it can be 100 pages. It can be read on an airplane or in a weekend and still provide tons and tons and tons of value. Okay, so this is where we have to start shifting our mindset a bit because for some reason we think that in order to be perceived as a real author that our books have to be long and fluffy, and you're going to lose conversions on the back end if you do that. So going back to step number 3, your book should solve one problem in 7 to 10 steps. So you should look at where your reader currently is and what they're being challenged with versus where they want to be. What's the solution that they're looking for? And in 7 to 10 steps, how can you help them get from where they are to where they want to be? Those will become your chapters. Okay. I know that I'm giving like so much right now. That's why I'm like, but I know that with you guys on here, with 10 people on here, probably 2 will actually go and do it. All right. Step number 4, we're talking about 7 steps to writing a book that makes you 6 figures. Okay. And if you haven't yet, my 5-day Start Your Book Challenge is now open. You can go to startmybooktoday.com and register for $27. You'll get 5 days of live training and resources with me and my team. We start, I think it's June 6th. The date is on the page, okay? You can go to www.startmybooktoday.com to register for the 5-day Start Your Book Challenge, okay? Step number 4 is to include content upgrades in and throughout your book. Remember, your book is a tool and it's a lead magnet. Go pick up a business book. If you've picked up a business book lately worth its weight in salt, then you will see that throughout the book, the author is leading you to visit their website. Throughout the book, the author is leading you to join their Facebook group. Throughout the book, the author is leading you to go and sign up for some kind of list so that you can get X resources. These are called content upgrades. You can also include content upgrades at the end of blogs, or articles that you may write or contribute or things like that. The purpose of a content upgrade is to go ahead and start directing your reader to the next step. Remember, the book is not the end goal. It's just the beginning. Okay. So you need to include content upgrades in and throughout your book. If you've already written your book, then you may want to go and create a content upgrade at the front of your book or at the very back of your book. If you don't want to put it throughout the book, you at least need one page in your book where you are directing the reader to go somewhere else, to your website. It can be to a quiz. It could be to check out a free training. It could be to download a checklist or some additional resource, something that is related to your book that's going to serve as some kind of bonus resource to help the reader get a great result. Okay, so you want to include content upgrades in your book. All right, are you guys with me or are you with me? Let me know in the comments. Are you guys with me or are you with me? I don't want to feel like I'm sitting here talking to an empty room. Okay. 7 steps to writing a book that makes you 6 figures. Step number 1 is to get clear on your purpose. Step number 2 is to clarify your audience and niche all the way down. Step number 3 is to solve one problem in 7 to 10 steps. Step number 4 is to create content upgrades in your book. All right. Step number 5 is to create a value upsell at checkout. A value upsell at checkout is something that's going to be of high value that your reader is actually going to want and use. And what happens, and normally content, these value upsells can be anywhere between $19 and $47 usually, because the book is already, anywhere between $19 and $30 after shipping and handling. But if your value upsell is going to be, more than $20, and it has to be something that's really, really good and juicy, like, maybe $37 for a 5-hour video training or something like that, that normally, or access to some type of course that you may have created that you might have normally sold for X amount of dollars, but they can get it at that one time for, a one-time offer price. So your value upsell, probably about 25% of people will purchase the value upsell. I actually did one on my current book. And with the second, because I changed the upsells out, with the second upsell, we probably have about 50% of people who purchase the book also purchase the value upsell. And what that means is that it doubles the cart value. So the cart value goes from $19 to around $50. It goes from $19.97 to around $50, once someone adds that value upsell at checkout. Okay. All right, you guys with me? It looks like it's delayed because it seems like I'm talking and then you guys come in a little bit later. So it just looks like it's a little bit delayed. All right. So you need to include a value upsell at checkout. All right. Step number 6 to writing a book that makes you 6 figures is that you need an email sequence in place. So this is where we start talking about the systems. Now, I use Kajabi. Kajabi is an all-in-one system. But you can use ConvertKit, you can use MailChimp, you can use any type of email marketing system, okay? You need an email sequence in place so that once someone purchases your book, they have a confirmation email, and then you start nurturing them and preparing to continue the relationship with them, okay? I'm glad you like the toolkit. I'm glad you're enjoying them. I'm excited for you guys to get these books, okay? I'm looking forward to hearing the feedback from it. So you definitely need anywhere from a 7 to 10 day email sequence in place so that once someone purchases your book, it triggers the email sequence and it prepares them, okay? So now this is where you start shifting them from actually just getting the book to potentially, becoming a client later on down the road. All right. But you definitely need that email sequence in place. It shouldn't just be they buy your book and all they see is a receipt and that's it. Purchase the book. It should trigger a 7 to 10 day email sequence. And this is going to allow you to continue to build the trust and relationship with your reader. So by the time they get to the end of that sequence, now they feel like they know you. They feel like they know a little bit about you. They trust you a little bit more. And so they're going to be a little bit more open and receptive to other things that you share because you have properly onboarded your reader, okay, into actually becoming a client. All right. And step number 7. Your book should lead to a higher price program. So it's of my opinion that all authors should have a high-end coaching program. The reason is because many authors want to go and speak. So when you go and speak, you still need something else to sell other than your speech. And you need something to sell in addition to your book. So if you're getting booked to speak the right way, then you should be able to bundle in bulk book orders along with whatever your speaking fee is. Okay. All right. But when people really like what you have to say, and when you share words that touch them and that have transformed them, then they're going to want to continue working with you. Okay. And this is where you can take the book. They've purchased the book. They may have heard you speak. They've been on your email, and now they're ready to work with you at a higher level. So this is where, when you have these components in place, you're able to take someone from a $27 sale and turn them into a $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, or even that $5,000 or higher client, because you have all these systems in place. Does this make sense? So this is how you can write a book that makes you 6 figures. You're selling low end on the front end, but it's a funnel to warm people up to work with you on the back end. This is why I teach writing the way that I do. So we don't focus on, I just want to share my story. No, we focus on writing books that's going to help you grow your business and grow your brand, because these are the components that you need to have in place if you want to write a book that's bringing you $8,000 to $10,000 per month on autopilot. You have to think about it. I was telling my students yesterday, I'm like, you can easily make $8,000 with your book. Easily, just from book sales, not even including the coaching clients. People who purchase the book sales is going to funnel coaching clients. So for every 100 books you sell, if you convert 10 of those into coaching clients, so let's look at it. All right. If you want to make $8,000 from your book per month, right? Or not even per month. If you want to make $8,000, probably about $4,000 a month, if you want to make $8,000 every 2 months from your book, the way that you do that is have a $20 book. You would get booked to speak on 40 podcasts. And each podcast, you would pitch your book at the end or share your book and with a goal of selling 10. So if you sell 10 books for each podcast that you speak on, and you speak on 40 podcasts, and you've sold 400 books, if the books are $20 a piece and you sold 400 books and you made $8,000 just from the book sales alone. All right. Now say out of those 400 books that you've sold, you're able to convert you're able to convert 10% of that, which is 40 students, into becoming coaching clients. If you have and $1,000 is low end, guys. It's not high end. But if you have a $1,000 coaching program on the back end, and you get 40 people to enroll in it, from reading your book, then you've made $40,000 from the coaching program, plus the $8,000 from the book sales. You made $48,000 within 2 months. It's a numbers game, guys. You've literally been able to make in 2 months in sales what many people make in a year. Okay? Having a book allows you to literally print money on demand, because it's something that you create one time and you're able to sell it over and over and over again. And once you have your system set up, you only set your systems up one time, and then everything else is automated. When you know what you're doing and when you have the proper coaching to do it correctly. Because some of you guys are going to listen to this live stream, you're going to go try to figure it out, but your phone's going to break somewhere because you don't know exactly what to do where. You don't know what to say. Like, I told you to create a 7 to 10 day email sequence, but you don't know what should go on those emails, right? But this is how you can do it. You can literally turn your book into 6 figures. So imagine that every other month you were generating, $40,000 in sales from selling the book and converting 10% of that into clients. What's your bank account going to look like at the end of the year? And you don't have to work hard to do it. Does this make sense? And this is in addition to whatever else you're doing. If this is all you wanted to do, some of my ladies, you have kids, or you want to live the laptop lifestyle. You want to be able to work from home and not stress out. This is an easy funnel to set up. Now it takes an investment on the front end, and it takes some work to put together on the front end. But once it's set up, it's set up. Now you just have to go do the work of getting booked to speak on podcasts, or, however it is you choose to market yourself through going live or whatnot to get the clients that you need. Okay. To sell the books and get the clients that you need to hit your goals. But it's definitely doable. Does this make sense? Y'all said this makes sense? Yeah. So this is what I do. So I have to be more vocal about what I do, because I have to, I can't keep having people saying, hey, I want to just write my book. I'm like, but we do much, much, much more than just write books over here in this camp. We help you build brands and businesses. And yes, it's a 5-figure investment. But to have this type of system running on autopilot where you're able to print money on demand, it can't be anything less than that. Okay? So we do way more than writing a book and publishing it. No, you're about to create a whole entire system that once it's set up, you can run it on autopilot and then go on and do something else. All right? So guys, your book is a tool to build your brand and your career. If you'd like to know what it's like to work with me, I invite you to join me for the 5-day Start Your Book Challenge. We start on the second week in June. It's the $27 5-day live challenge. You can go to www.startmybooktoday.com. Also, my book, Published and Paid, is now for sale. We're shipping books out on Saturday. You can go to www.publishedandpaidbook.com. Both of those links are in my bio. So I would love to see you inside of the 5-day challenge so we can like go to work. Okay. All right. Does anyone have any questions? It's 10:51. It's pretty late. It's late on the East Coast. It's almost 11 here. That's late to me because I'm normally in bed around 9:30. So you said it's a game changer. Absolutely. So do you guys have any questions? If you have a question, don't put it in the chat. Put it in the question mark box so that I can actually see it, keep track